Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, hello, what's up? My name is Nicole and welcome to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be doing some brow lamination, some at-home brow lamination. Now I know that this type of fluffy brow look is not for everybody, and that's fine. You know what? You do you. But I actually do enjoy wearing the laminated brows. I don't sport the look like all the time, but I do it occasionally. When with everything around us being closed, you might want to maybe try this at home. There are some warnings with this. Make sure you read all of the labels. Make sure you're super careful not to get any of these products into your eyes. Use all of these things at your own risk. Make sure you're super careful and you're doing everything to protect yourself. If you want to know how to do at-home brow lamination, just stick around. This is definitely not the first time for me doing this, so I've kind of worked out, like, I know what works and what doesn't for me, but you might have to play with it a bit yourself to find out what actually works for you. We all have different coarseness of our brows, we all have different shapes of brows, so there's also that. The kit I'm going to be using to do the brow lamination today is this one right here. I got this off of Amazon. It was around $30 or so, and it is just a lash lift kit, but I mean, if you look up brow lamination kits, this always comes up. They do the same. The kit on the inside looks like this, and this is definitely not the first time for me using it. If you keep the little stoppers on the inside to actually seal the bottles after you're finished using them, you can get multiple uses out of this. Okay, I do have some makeup on, some like very simple makeup that I had on just for my my regular day-to-day errands that I was running today, and I didn't bother taking any of it off. I thought I'm gonna do this video anyways, so yeah. So these are the few things that you're gonna need in order to do this. You're gonna need the lash lift kit. You're gonna need some cotton rounds, get however many you think, at least 4 or 5 of them. You're gonna need a spoolie. I recommend getting one that's a little bit more stiff, as opposed to something like this, which is very flimsy, and the bristles aren't very, this one's very flimsy and the bristles aren't very stiff. And then I have this one and the bristles are way more stiff. It's because my eyebrows are pretty coarse and very stubborn, so I know I need a really good stiff one. You need at least 3. I always cut a little extra piece just in case I make a mistake, but yeah, just some plastic wrap. Oh, and I also grabbed myself a little pair of tweezers as well, just because the insides are pretty hard to get off. And lastly, you need some cotton swabs. I always grab a bunch of them. I don't exactly know how many I use, but I use a bunch of them. It comes with a few instructions on the back, although they're not very detailed. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to go in with the cleanser. The cleanser that I have is listed as number 4 within the package. They're all labeled. Now, if you don't get this package, you're just going to follow the steps that come with them. So it comes with this little insert that you kind of have to pop off, and that's the insert I was saying you should really save these, because if you throw these away, you're not going to be able to use the products for as long as you would as if you were to seal it properly. So I'm just going to take a clean cotton swab and I'm just going to dip it inside here, and I am just going to clean any product that may be sitting on my eyebrow. Just do this until you get like a clean cotton swab. You may have makeup on there, dust on there. You definitely may have some natural oils there. Just go back and forth just to get everything out from what's underneath the hairs and everything. And that's going to take a cotton round because the eyebrows are left a bit damp, and I don't want them damp because the glue won't work as well. So I'm just going to remove any excess dampness from the brow. I'm going to come in a little bit closer here. Hello. Okay, next I'm going to take the false lashes glue, it's called, but it's whatever glue would be in your kit. So you're going to use this glue and you're going to apply it on the eyebrows to lift them. So first I'm going to take my spoolie and I'm just going to comb my hairs up as much as I can. So the glue that I have has a little tiny brush tip at the end. Again, that might change according to whichever brand you're using. And now I go in on this glue. Like, I apply this glue everywhere, lifting and going underneath here. And I'm going this way with it. I'm going up, like I am getting that glue everywhere. And then I'm gonna move to the next brow. So to be honest, I let this glue sit on my eyebrows like this for about 2 to 3 minutes before I start to try and put them into place, just because when the glue is still really, really wet, the brows just fall back down. So I kind of wait for it to get a little bit tacky so I can actually put the brows in the place that I want them to be. Because just like eyelash glue, you know, you wait for it to get a little bit tacky before you put the eyelashes on, otherwise they're going to slip all around. Kind of the same principle. Okay guys, so now that the glue is a bit tackier, what I'm going to do is I am going to start to try to brush the brows up. And when I'm brushing them up, I'm going to actually hold them like this, because I know from experience that they just fall right back down again. So when I brush it up like this, okay, I'm gonna hold it like that, okay? And it's a bit sticky, I'm not gonna lie. It is sticky, it is glue after all. Perfect. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna do the same thing. So you see, it's kind of thick. It's definitely like tugging my skin, as you can see. So you can play with it a little bit to get it into like the ideal shape. You can make it like stand up as much as you want, or whatever shape you like. You can see the glue is turning a little bit white, and that's okay. I'm actually gonna go in with a little bit more glue. I have pretty coarse hairs. Someone who has like a lot less brow hair than me probably won't need to use half the amount of product. You just have to go by like the amount of hairs that you have. And a professional might actually be watching this and cringing right now, but you know what? That's okay. I've done this a few times and I know exactly what works for me. It's okay. So this is kind of what the brow is looking like. I just kind of brush them all up here and then flare them out a little bit on the end. You'll obviously find whichever shape is like more flattering for you, or whatever you like to do, but I kind of like to go up straight in the front and kind of feather it this way. Like a 90-degree angle onto like a 45-degree angle, if that makes sense. The next thing we do is we're gonna leave the glue on there. Like, you don't have to remove it at all. And you're gonna go into in this kit, the number 1, which is the Perm Solution. And again, taking another clean cotton swab, I'm just gonna go directly into the bottle. And I'm just gonna apply, and now this has a very, very potent smell. If you know what perm smells like, then this smells exactly like perm. Or like an extremely, extremely strong hair dye, but more like perm. It is called a perming solution after all. So I'm just gonna apply this everywhere, pretty much the same way as I applied the glue. So just getting all in between everything and under and on top of everything. And then I'm gonna take the spoolie again and I'm just gonna brush through it to make sure that the Perm Solution is reaching all of the brows. All of the brow hairs, I should say. And I'm still going to put them where I want them. If I feel like my shape is not right, I just kind of work with it as I'm going. So you kind of see that? Kind of crazy, right? I know. Sorry, the color that you're seeing is actually my makeup that I didn't take off before this. So probably do this without any face makeup on, maybe. Okay, so now that the perming solution is on, you're going to take one of those plastic strips that you cut previously. We're just going to place it over the brows, and you're going to set a timer. Now, read the instructions to the products that you're using. Mine says 10 to 12 minutes, but yours might be a different time. So just read the instructions pretty carefully. And now when I'm placing the wrap, I'm not going to just place it on like this, especially down like this. I'm going to place it underneath, and I'm going to go up with it. Because if you place it down, you're going to like push the brows back down again. And I just look at how like the brows are underneath here, and if I'm not happy with how the brows are looking, because ideally this is a perm, so this is how it's going to like kind of stay. So put it down like that. Perfect. So we're looking like a little crazy, but that's okay. So mine says 10 to 12 minutes, and I'm going to set my timer for 12 minutes because I know that I have pretty coarse, stubborn hairs. So read the instructions again. Okay guys, so my timer went off. It's been 12 minutes, so I am going to remove my plastic wrap. Alrighty. And this is what we're left with. Yeah, so I'm just gonna comb through that again one more time. Honestly, I think like just brushing through your eyebrows often when you're doing this process definitely helps the final look. So yeah, so tons of glue on this brow for sure. So what you're gonna do next is I'm going to take a cotton swab again. These are like the best friends, my best friends of this whole entire routine. And you're going to go back into the number 4 in my kit, the cleansing solution. This kit comes with like a cleaning tool that I just did not feel like it was comfortable to use. It was very scratchy, so I'm not even going to show you that portion of it. But, so I'm just taking, a clean cotton swab, and I'm just going to go over my brows, and I'm going to remove any like excess glue or anything like that. So once I did do that, then I'm going to go in with a cotton round, and I'm going to just fold it over my finger like this, and I'm going to put some of that cleansing solution, and I'm just going to like clean the brow. And I'm not going to go like this and like that, really. I'm just going to like just go up. And I'm going to try to clean off as much of that glue as I can. I've also used baby wipes for this as well. Like I feel like baby wipes work really, really well for this as well. You don't have to use this particular cleansing solution. You can use some micellar water. Yeah, so this is a baby wipe I just grabbed real quick, and you can also use a baby wipe for this. But yeah, and even like to take any residue that might be on your hands or whatever. So one more time again, I'm going to take my spoolie and I'm just going to brush back through this again to get that shape back into that brow that I want. You can also trim, like if you got like, obviously if you comb your hairs up like this, some might be longer than the others, and you can do like the grooming, and like maybe I could probably cut like some of these longer pieces in the front and probably trim down the side here. It's definitely up to you if you want to do that, you definitely can. So the next thing is for the fixation, and mine is listed number 2 in this kit. And that's a little seal right here on the inside that I strongly recommend just keeping so you can reseal it. Again, with another clean cotton swab. And this doesn't have odor like the first one. And I'm just going to, this is called a fixation if I haven't mentioned this. And it's exact same thing that I've done with the glue and the perming solution. I am going to put this everywhere. Whenever you dip in with the clean section of the cotton swab, because you definitely don't want to contaminate the container of product, because you will get multiple uses out of this. And I am going to just comb through that again to make sure I get it between all of the hairs. You do get some buildup on your brush, which is normal. You can just give it a good shampoo afterwards. Not a big deal. Okay, so once that's all there, again, I'm going to put my hairs in the direction and the shape that I want them to be. See, I do have a few really, really stubborn hairs on this side right here. So you have that fixation placed, and you're going to take another piece of the wrap and apply it in this direction, making sure all the hairs are the direction you want it to be, because this is the fixation. So it's going to fix the brows in this position, right? All right. Okay, so again, I'm going to set my timer for 12 minutes, and I'll come right back. Okay guys, so timer's gone off. That's the last 12 minutes to our brow lamination routine. So we're gonna take it off here first. And then, I mean, my instructions to say to use that wide comb thing, like I said, I am not using it. It's just way too uncomfortable for me. But maybe it'll work out better for you, whatever tool they give you. I'm just taking my baby wipe and I'm just going to wipe off any excess of that product that's left. But this doesn't mean that you're not going to have to like comb your brows into shape and they're just going to be like this all the time. They're still going to move around, but it's just when you move them into place, they're just going to stay there more than they would if you didn't do this. I also want to say there are other ways to achieve this fluffy soap brow or laminated brow look. Obviously you can get microblading, which is a little bit more of a permanent solution. I have been down that road and I don't know, I don't think I would do it again, to be honest. And then there's obviously the soap brow or the soap wax that you can use and every day kind of put them into like this position before you do your makeup, but that's just way too time consuming for me. I don't have that time to dedicate to my makeup routine every day. I just don't. So this works out well for me. I do want to say that this could be damaging to your brows potentially if you do it like repeatedly. It is essentially like equivalent to like perming your hair because you're perming your eyebrows. So you want to watch out for that too. Don't do it too often. After the whole routine is done, they do provide you with like a nutrition oil to put in your eyebrows to kind of nourish them or whatever. I haven't used this yet actually. I don't know why. It might actually help, but definitely I use coconut oil sometimes in my face, but for the most part I don't really nourish them. That might be a good thing to do as well, but it is kind of oily, so if you have acne prone skin you might want to watch out for that. I also want to say make sure that when you're doing, if you do this at home, make sure, again, I'm going to stress it, read the directions. Definitely do an allergy test. Some of this stuff can be very irritating to the skin. I don't have sensitive skin particularly. I have rosacea, so when I touch my skin it becomes rather red. But for the most part I don't have a lot of allergic reactions to anything. But people can definitely be allergic to this. If you get the stuff into your eye, it is not going to be a good time, let me tell you. So for goodness sake, please do this very, very carefully. I would say seek a professional. Me, I'm a little bit crazy, so I like to experiment with stuff like this at home. But definitely don't do this if you're underage. Get help from an adult if you're going to do this, okay? I would advise seeking a professional, but you do whatever you need to do, but make sure you just take care of yourself, okay? Not telling you to go out and do this, just telling you how I do it. If that makes sense. I have all of the product taken off my eyebrows, so you can see a little bit of remnants here from when I had microblading done in the past. I want to say it was about 4 or 5 years ago almost. But yeah, so, and I do have a few bald spots underneath here, which is okay. So this is how the brows are looking. I mean, without any makeup or anything on them. I'm just gonna retouch my makeup a little bit and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm back and I just cleaned up my foundation a little bit and I went in with a brow product. I used the NYX brow pencil that I'm not thrilled on the color, so I popped some brow gel on, and this is the final look of the brow. I mean, like, I definitely know that is not everybody's cup of tea to have this fluffy full brow, but it's not permanent, and if you want to give it a try, give it a try. And I mean, it doesn't last forever, and you don't really have to have it this full. I mean, like, I'm probably gonna go in with some scissors, I'm not quite sure, and you can just like trim the top and trim down the side so it looks a little bit less full. I mean, it's really up to you. It's fun. It's just that. It's just for fun, like, not to be taken too serious. Just give it a try. If you want to give it a try, try soap brows before you go with a little bit more permanent solution like this. If you want to try microblading, you're not quite sure how it's going to look, you can probably give this a little try as well. But yeah, I mean, I definitely went in with my brow gel a little bit too much here and it got a little mucky, but for the most part, like, this is how it looks, and I like it. I think it's fun, I think it's youthful, I think it's trendy, and I really like it because it gives me more eye space, because my brows kind of go down and I lose a little bit of the space here, so I feel like when I do this I get a little bit more eye space, which is a little bit more fun for me when I do my eyeshadow or whatever. So if you think this is something that you want to try, have fun and be careful. And if you like this video and you like me, please give it a big old thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions or anything of that nature. And yeah, until next time, guys, ciao.